All right, what's going on YouTube? It is DEFCON TCG back recording another video, and today I got a special guest. His name is Mo Ideis. He's the SME for the official Pokemon broadcast, and he's my opponent in this game. Mo, say what's up to the people.
Hello.
Mo, what is the SME?
Subject matters expert. Basically, I just get information for this stream to put it, to bottle it up.
Basically, Mo puts all the cool graphics on the screen, tells, people information about the game, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And he's a very avid Gardevoir player, as you'll see in this game. He only plays Guardy.
Correction, the graphics is someone else. That's the graphics operator.
Well, he's not as
basically,
cool.
if they need a second opinion, it's me.
Yeah, he's a second opinion man.
Yeah, second opinion guy.
Alright, and this is the final round of the Lily Case tournament that happened at TGS the other week, and this is probably the last game I'm going to upload from it, just because the other games weren't particularly good, and this is a pretty good set, I would say. We go to 3 games, and it is the Lopunny Dusknoir deck versus the Gardevoir deck. I don't know if there's anything specific you want to say about the build before we start.
This is just like the Charm Guardy, so I ended up playing 1 Evo, 1 Turbo Energized double Charm, and I played 1 Frillish just to have the item lock opportunity, but I did not play the Jellicent EX, and I did play a Mega Diancie EX.
Alright, we'll just get into the game here. Let's see, I think I won the die roll, but you're going to be correct and open up this secret box here. So, what are you thinking about just getting set up as much as possible in this first turn when you open that secret box?
I think like the chance that you have a Badoo turn 1, it's pretty high. I already know what you're playing because like you hit Michael and Swizz, you hit Colin, you guys are playing the same deck. So I'm just thinking like, okay, if you have a Badoo turn 1, what is my best out into that? And I think it's just setting up Nest Ball, and I think it's getting an Artazon just to bench out my basics. And I benched the Frillish early because I have the energy attachment active. Even though it's the Darkness energy, I can go ahead and just push up Frillish. This means that I can, if I find a Psychic Energy off of the Lilies next turn, I can hit your Badoo for 20, and then the next turn, if I find a Darkness energy and a Monkey Dory, then I can move that 10 damage that you would do. It's really just putting up for the future terms in this turns, and this is just all based off of the fact if you have Badoo. And if you don't have Badoo, then I feel a lot more comfortable because I can Candy Gardevoir the next turn, and I can still item lock you, so then you don't Candy Dusknoir me, because that really stinks.
Yeah, and then going into my turn, or on your turn, did you play the Artazon because I led the Fan Rotom? Would you have potentially like not played the Artazon if I had led something different? Like let's say like a Duskull?
Yeah, I probably would assume that you didn't have the out to like you always assume your opponent's gonna find the out, but I would make you find the cards for it. I also put the Artazon so I can get the Frillish in play and then push up an 80 HP Pokemon, because you don't play Vit Band. Like you already played Dusknoir to buff your damage output. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna give you the free present or Ralts, because like if you Badoo me, I want to push up the Frillish so I can attack you, and then it's easier. And then if you don't Badoo me and you attack with the Rotom, then you get a free prize. So I want to mitigate how many prizes you get, because I know you're going to take prizes off of Dusknoir later on, but then also because I want to make sure that I can put up this Mega Diancie eventually if I get enough Monkey Dories down. And like 2 prizes and 3 prizes left is a difference, and then 4 prizes and 3 prizes left is a difference. Like if I can put up Diancie mid-game and then you kill it, do I just lose the game, or do you have 1 prize left for a Niono? It's like I'm trying to think about not giving you free prizes, but then also being able to play around any Pokemon. Like I want to put the beefy Pokemon in the active spot. 80 HP and 70 HP is a world of difference, so
yeah, I would say that
really trying to play
giving a deck that can potentially 1 prize or 1 turn knockout a Mega Diancie is pretty scary, but it is at the cost of me probably putting a 3 prizer in the active as well as giving you a prize with Dusknoir. So there is a trade-off in which, yes, I'm going to take a 3 prize knockout, but you also get a prize in that process, so it can potentially help you set up for like a big one-shot KO. And it's pretty easy to recur Mega Diancie, especially when you get like 1 or 2 Monkey Dories down. It can be really easy to put a lot of damage onto my board. And yeah, I think that's why like this specific build is very scary, because I don't think that Jellison is particularly good against my build because I play Pidgeot. So if I'm able to get Pidgeot before Jellison goes online, the Jellison's ability is significantly worse. Builds are tending not to play Evo or Devo TM anymore, so I think the Pidgeot is a very good inclusion right now. I think if the Guardy decks were tending to play Devo TM, I would probably take the Pidgeot out. But it's mainly for these like Iono spam decks that the Pidgeot's in the deck for. But I think this game 1, I don't get it up. I just assume because you promoted the Frillish, I was like, okay, let me not prioritize getting this Pidgeot online, and I can just kind of set up a bunch of Duskulls. But my starting turn is pretty good. I do get the Fan Rotom down as my opener, and then I do have the Buddy Buddy Poffin for 2 copies of Duskull, and then I'm able to use the Fan Rotom's ability to grab a Baneri and a Ditto. And I'm just kind of thinking from there what I want to do. I think my other Baneri is prized here, so I don't end up grabbing it. So I'm going to give this deck a good shuffle and kind of think what my next play is here. I have the option of potentially like Dittoing or Jet Energy plus Ditto to the active to be able to get Kangaskhan into play to draw 2 more cards. But my hand is currently pretty good, so it's like not even necessary. And yeah, I'm going to Ultra Ball away Pidgey and Pidgeot there and grab the Latios, and then this way I can keep the Jet Energy in my hand for next turn. And this is like pretty ideal setup here from me because now I'm threatening like double Skull for next turn plus an attack with the Lopunny, the Mega Lopunny. So if Mega Lopunny is going to take a knockout on the Frillish, it's pretty tough to combat it turn 2 unless the Guardy player gets like Rare Candy Guardy to be able to, hit you for 190 or like with other one prizers. And because Mo's playing the 1 Frillish build, if he wants to recur the Frillish, he has to use one of his recovery cards on it as well as get Rare Candy Guardy down. Unless you play something like Latios or Air Balloon to be able to retreat back into it. But that's a lot of resources committed, and it's a hard play to pull off, especially since he's already used that secret box.
Yeah, the only pivot I really play in my deck is going to be the Professor Cheryl scenario. But again, that's going to be for like if I swing with DNC mid game and you're not at that 3 prize threshold where you would win if you just knock it out and give me however many Dusknors it takes. I want to hold that Turo for my DNC or even hold it for like a Fez late game. So then that way, if I'm down double charm, then you can't knock out my Fez with your Lopunny. I want to make it as hard on you as possible. So I always put my charms on my Fez. My DNC's not getting knocked out by anything without Dusknor's help. So like I'm really trying to play with that hindsight.
And unfortunately for this turn, it's kind of worst case scenario for Mo, where I get the Rare Candy, or not the Rare Candy, I get the Jet Energy plus the Boss's Order to knock out the Ralts in play. So it leaves Mo with 1 copy of Ralts in play. Going in his next turn, he gets that Curlia Evolution plus the Lee's Determination. This is pretty solid for Mo because the only way I'm going to be able to knock out this Curlia is by using double Dusknor or double Dusclops, which is pretty bad. It's going to even us out on the prize trade if I'm not able to take a knockout along with it. So it's going to be almost impossible to be able to KO both of these Ralts on my next turn without like a pretty big combination of cards. I would need Boss's Order plus double Duskull or Dusclops, which is a lot to deal with. And Mo's just going to end his turn by using this Artisan in play to get another Ralts down so that I can't wipe his whole board. Again, it's very unlikely that I do. And if I do, I'm giving him a ton of cards. So the likelihood of him having something like a Night Stretcher or an Ordinary Rod, or what's the one? Super Rod, is pretty high because he still has 6 cards in hand. Plus, you can always use something like a Nest Ball for Pheasantipity or like Ultra Ball's hand down and use Mew. And because he hasn't taken a prize yet, his Lily is still at maximum potential. And yeah, I think on my turn, my thought was, well, I definitely want to try to KO Curlia if I can. If I can go like Mega Lopunny plus a Boss's Order, that's kind of my ideal play here. And then if I'm not able to do that, knocking out Frillish still isn't too bad because I can get items on my next turn and then deal with Gardevoir through a Mega Lopunny plus Boss's Order plus Dusknor, which is mainly how I'm going to want to deal with Gardevoir. But the main name of the game versus like Gardevoir, Charizard, Dragapult is to just not let them get to their stage 2.
Exactly. The longer this game goes on, I think it's more in my favor. Not favored. But I also think that like anytime that I unlock you, it's pretty beneficial for me for the fact that I'm gonna stop you from getting your Dusknoir's in play. I'm gonna stop you from maybe finding your draw support, your switches, whatever it may be. So even if I stop you for a turn, that's really beneficial because that's one more turn of getting Monkey Dark down, and then that'll really set up for catapulting me into knocking out 3-prize Pokemon, knocking out these megas and taking 3 prizes on them. And then also like chipping off maybe some Pokemon like Latias while sticking something active and forcing you to find Jet. Here you're down double Jet, so the odds of it without Pidgeot are pretty low. You have to draw like Hilda, or you have to really take your chances and maybe popping a Dusknoir to see if it's on the prizes or something, if you prize checked for it.
Yeah, me using this Jet Energy here, I think kind of telegraphs that, like, because I used the Duskull on a 1-prizer to then use it with Fan Rotom, it kind of telegraphs that my hand is filled with a lot of good items or like a rare candy plus Dusknoir. Because, like, why else would I invest that much into just killing a Frillish? On a Mo's turn, he gets that Night Stretcher for that Kirlia, and he goes Evo TM plus the Dark Energy to guarantee the double Gardevoir, which is going to be very solid for him because it's impossible for me with my current board state to be able to knock out both Gardevoirs. I still definitely can like knock out Munkidori, knock out Kirlia, and leave him with a board of just Gardevoir, which still wouldn't be that bad. It would put me down to 2 prizes and Mo down to 3 prizes, so it's pretty impossible to knock out the Mega Lopunny with just one Gardevoir in play without the, additional Munkidori's, because Mo does not play Drifloon. So, plus he doesn't have that many Psychic Energy in the bin currently, so it would be pretty impossible for him to KO it. So, I could always use something like Turo if I have it in my hand to pick up the Lopunny if he damages it, if he hits it for like 190. And yeah, we'll actually see the Screamtail come down, and the Evo TM is not going to be used here. And my Fan Rotom is going to get slapped here, so this is a really cool play for Mo. Because my Fan Rotom had 20 damage on it, he can move 30 over, putting it to 50, and then use just Slap for knockout. Unfortunately, this does put the Screamtail in range of like another Fan Rotom attack, but this is like the scenario that Mo wants to get to, is kind of like building monkeys up on the bench while pushing 1-prizers into the active, because if you're ever trading 1-prizers with a Gardevoir, they're always going to win because they have Munkidori and you probably don't. And if you do, they're probably using Munkidori better than you anyway.
Yeah, I think I was looking at it like I can move the 20 from the Munkidori when I pivoted it, so that 20 doesn't take it out of any real range. But if I'm able to get the knockout with the Slap, I get 20 damage on my Screamtail. Additionally, I'm assuming that when I go down to 4 prizes, if you pop a Dusknoir, I'm gonna go down to 3. I can go Counter Catcher, double Munkidori, maybe Kangaskhan knockout Kangaskhan with Mega Dancey, or I can also go. Well, that would actually just win the game if you pop Dusknoir. So I'm putting the ball in your court of, do you want to pop Dusknoir and give me a prize to go down to 3? So it's a little bit of me going a little aggro,
And here I can do a pretty aggressive play here, where if I have something like Prime Catcher, I go like Prime Catcher, Pheasantipity, and then Dusknoir, Munkidori, go down to 1 prize and force Mo to attack with a Mega Gardevoir, or the Gardevoir, or the Mega Diancie, because if he leaves the 1 prize in the active, it's basically just admitting that he's going to lose. And on my turn, I know that if I don't use this Dusknoir on this Munkidori, I cannot put down another Skull for the rest of the game, because then Mo will have 2 monkeys and 2 darks. He can move 6 damage counters over, and it's a free prize. So definitely something you never want to do against Gardevoir. And let's see what I end up using this Dusknoir on. I don't remember what it is, but okay, it is the Munkidori.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely the best target in that scenario. If I hit the really nuts turn here, it's like Boss's Order or Prime Catcher to kill Fez as well. But I think I'm just going to use Night Stretcher here on the Duskull, if I had to guess. Yeah, just because Duskull is going to be the thing that lines me up for game. And I think, what do? Pop this Hilda here. So Hilda's probably going to grab... I grab Mist Energy, which is nice here because, I'm probably low on Jets. I've already used 2 of them. So to be able to use a Mist here instead of Jets, pretty nice. I have the free retreat with Latias, and I can just send this into the active. It also prevents me from getting Mind Bended. So... not something you really need to play around with my deck, around, because my deck has so many switching cards. I think I played 2 or 3 switch, Prime Catcher, a Turo, 4 Jet Energy. So it's like you're never getting trapped with this deck, which is a nice upside of it. And on this turn, it kind of forces Mo to either use a Turo on the Pheasantipity, which is going to be hard for him to get to because Secret Box is already down. And, Gardevoir doesn't have like direct search for supporters. They kind of just have to draw them as the game goes. So it's really rough at this current state. Obviously, Mo just kind of has to like Iono and hope that I don't get to like that combination of cards. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to KO my Duskull through Monkey Dory damage. If I didn't use the Duskull last turn to kill Monkey Dory, it's impossible for me to knock out a Gardevoir. So, in using the Duskull last turn, it forces Mo to only have one Monkey Dory in play. And if he lets me keep my Giant Hand, the chances of me having Rare Candy Duskull are pretty high. Especially because I do have 2 copies of Jet Energy left, so I can just retreat the Lopunny manually, and then, draw 2 cards with the Kangaskhan, and then it just gives me an even bigger hand. But Mo ends up using Arven here. Just kind of, he's looking to just foolproof his board from Dusknoirs, right? Because even if he wants to, like, if he charms this Monkey Dory, the Dusknoir can't knock it out, and then... Did you have an Iono in hand this turn?
I think I did, but I'm.
Oh, you're going for the Frillish. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna make it so that you can't knock out this Pheasantipity. I'm pretty sure you're down a couple Dusclops. So then I'm telling myself like, okay, well you can't Night Searcher for it, you can't Rod for it because I know you play 2. And the odds of you finding that plus boss means you're not playing a draw supporter, and your prime is your A spec. So I'm playing around like. If you had an enriching, sure, maybe I wouldn't do this play, but like you have to have it in hand, and I think you only have like maybe 4. It looks like a lot of cards in hand.
I think I have 6, like 6 or 7 cards in hand.
Yeah, the odds of having like I'm checking for Dusclopses right now, and so the odds of you having it when I know that you probably play 2 Dusclops is like very very low.
So yeah, this is a good play too because you can also always combo like the Monkey Dory ping here to finish Duskull, and then go like Screamtail plus Charmed, like kill Pheasantipity or Latias. I think you're a little bit low on Psychic Energy here at the moment, but it's it's Gardevoir, right? I take a knockout here, draw 3 off Fez. Oh, it's Vessel Ultra Ball, boom, that's game.
Or like CC. CC means
that's
like
true.
CC Latias, CC if that's a Fez on bench with the glare. CC Latias, CC.
Yeah, this is Pheasantipity right here.
Yeah, CC Latias or Fez, Mega Diancie, and then move the damage onto the Duskull, assuming you're not getting Clops, and then winning the game there.
Yeah, I think overall this matchup is like slightly... I think it really depends because there's so many techs both decks can play, but I would say this specific build, because there's no Jellicent, might be slightly favored for bunnies, just because I have a lot of ways around. Like, I play like an unconventional build here, and because I have stuff like Pidgeot, I have a Turo to heal, like, I think against this specific Gardevoir deck, I'm maybe slightly favored because there's less opportunity for you to item lock me. If you did have more item lock, it's definitely a tougher matchup, I think, because my deck plays like almost 30 items or something crazy. Maybe not that many, but maybe like 20. Once Jellicent hits the active, the matchup can be a little bit tough, and yeah, Mo's just gonna kill me.
Yeah, Arven for CC, retreat to the Diancie, move the damage with the Monkey Dory onto the Duskull, knock it out, and then knock out Fez with Garland Ray.
Yep, and that's gonna be 3 prizes, and then we're gonna go to game 2 here. Game 1, I don't really think I think I just kind of got checkmated at the end there by like the Guardy stuff. I think if I was able to evolve into Clops the turn before, I could have maybe played it a little bit differently, but it's definitely tough.
You rebenched that turn, right? You popped Dusknoir and then rebenched Duskull.
So I think I had 2 Duskull down now. This is what.
No, you had 1 Duskull.
You're right, because I benched Baneri instead of this. Exactly. Yeah, maybe this Baneri bench should have just been another Skull, and then.
Or if there was like a Night Stretcher for Skull, you could, or Clops, you could have done that.
Yeah, that probably would have made a little bit more sense than Baneri.
But I think like through that, I was playing to that line because of what you did, and it's like,
yeah, that makes sense.
This is another thing that players need to understand is it's not black and white. It's like you play off of the board, and then this is a game where I'm prize checking and I realize I priced double guard of Warriax, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it happens with the Guardy. That happens sometimes with the Guardy deck where it's happened to me before at regionals, unfortunately, but this is still a pretty solid turn 1. Despite that, you get 2 Ralts down, you get the Mega Diancie in the active with the energy attachment. I have to use an Ultra Ball here for the Fan Rotom, which is definitely not good. My deck plays a lot of searching cards, and this is definitely not the one that you want. I was thinking about using the Prime Catcher here to bring up a Ralts, so it kind of denied you the knockout, but then I thought I was like, okay, maybe that's a little bit greedy because Prime Catcher's so useful in this matchup to be able to kill something like a Pheasantipity, or like if you have to put down like Lily's Clefairy to take a knockout if we both have a full bench, right? And you retreat to the bench, I can like knock it out later. Also, this Mega Diancie was your lead, so if I potentially get like Dusknoir plus Prime Catcher to kill Diancie later, because once you get Gardevoir online, usually you don't want Diancie as your active attacker, you kind of just want it to clean out the game. So I wanted to save the Prime Catcher there. Maybe I'll see what I draw. I thought it was, with this current board state, you had already used an Ultra Ball, I think, and a Nest Ball. So I was like, well, if he had the Ball Search for the Frillish, he probably would have put it down turn 1. So I think this is pretty safe. I get the Call for Family here. I think it's the first time I use Call for Family the whole tournament, but definitely a super nice attack here because it's either going to let me get Duskulls down or Latias. And looking at my hand, it's like kind of dead. Unfortunately for Mo, he's not really able to capitalize on that because of the double Gardevoir prize. So it kind of just gives me as many turns as I want to set up. And here I actually grab Fez off of the Call for Family, which I think is a really good play for me to kind of like see into the future and see like, okay, well, Mo has an energy on this Diancie already, so the chances of him just having another energy and attacking are pretty high, and my hand's pretty dead, so at least if he kills this, it gives me 5 cards on my next turn between the Kangaskhan and the Pheasantipity, and then because I do have that Prime Catcher in hand, I can always go like Rare Candy, Duskull, Evolve, Prime Catcher Curlia, Dusknoir, pop out Ralts, and then yeah, Mo's left with just a Diancie in play. And I think Mo, did you ever think about getting third Ralts down here, or was your mind just kind of like hoping you got the Gardevoir off of the prize?
I think I was gonna prioritize getting like double Curlia since I did play double Curlia, but I also believe that this game my prizes were, it was like Ralts, Curlia, Guardy. It was like so bad,
Yikes.
dude. At a regional, I probably would have scooped this game like the moment that you got to set up. So probably like this following turn I might scoop. Um, I don't even
Yeah, I
think I
think
grabbed
this
Guardian
turn, if I
prizes.
kill your
I was like
Curlia, you just
Psychic.
scoop, right?
Yeah, I grabbed like Psychic off the prizes, but given that this was like a best of 3 tournament locally, I was like, whatever, like let's play this out. You know, this is a game that in testing I think would be like pretty interesting, but overall I think the win percentage is so low. And it's
Yeah, I think maybe if you
scooping.
get it off the second prize here, it's like fine. You're like, okay, I got it off the second prize, so like it's fine now. But yeah, I get the 5 new cards to my hand. It looks like I end up getting that Lopunny. Plus, I have Prime and Jet Energy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna probably just use that to knock out Curlia here. And what did I
Yep.
use? CC there. Yeah, I think I use CC. Bring up Curlia, lets me keep that Prime Catcher again, and then I'm just gonna use the Night Stretcher for Pidgey because again, Mo's board is pretty weak. So if he wants to use his turn of like retreating Diancie and a Frillish attaching to it, and then hitting 20 into my Lopunny, like that's fine with me. It doesn't really hurt that much. Unfortunately, I have a Norn in my hand and not a Skull or Clops, so I can't evolve the Duskull, so it makes me apply a little bit less pressure, but I think it's fine. I think ideally, if I drew a Stadium, I probably would have attacked with Fan Rotom into Ralt. No, I'm always killing Curlia there. I think maybe that's like a fine play as well. But then
Yeah.
if you have Gardevoir, it's like a little bit less fine. And okay, so I ended the turn with 5 cards in hand there. So you Lilies again, just playing the TM Evo down to kind of just keep it out of the deck. So as someone that's prized double Gardevoir here, what do you think your goal is for this turn aside from get Curlia back out?
It's getting the first. So getting the first Curlia, like you said, that's the goal. I mean, there's a long shot of me hitting like the Turbo Energize, really powering up my board, and I was just telling myself like, oh, it's not gonna happen. I think I ended up doing it later in the game because yeah, this is the Evo, not the Energize. And I'm just like, okay, well, let me just get rid of this card. Let's see what happens. I probably should have just put it on the bench, but that was like a super big tell that I prized double Guardy. I'm still like trying to like
Definitely in a regional,
it, right?
this is the scoop turn for sure.
Yeah, I probably should have skipped it. I was telling myself like, okay, you knock this out, I can get double Ralts now, and then I can go CC. I go CC Clops here, so you can't like if I get double Ralts, you can't blow them both up. It's either CC Clops or CC Fez, but I'm fighting for my life, man. I'm trying to get these prizes. I think I ended up grabbing Gardevoir off the prizes later when you Clops me, or I grab it right here. But then I think you end up popping my Ralts again. You
Yeah,
have
I
also
think
can knock out
this is just kind of like the game versus Guardy is you kind of just want to deny them from getting past Curlia the whole game. And yeah, getting Pidgeot on I think is like the death sentence here. I think like for sure this is when you should have scooped. I think after this turn, it's like you're guaranteed to never get a Ralts down again. Or you're never gonna get like you have to get multiple Ralts down, and then guaranteed every turn one of them is going to die. Because I can always search like I guess I'm down CC plus Prime, but I should have one or two bosses left. So even then, if you don't have like CC to kill Skull, like I just kill you next turn with Lopunny Duskull.
Yeah, I guess I think I'm still technically in it if I hit like I think I have Guardian now. So if I hit like bench the Ralts, put Candy my Ralts into our Gardevoir the next turn, I can still technically win as long as you give me a prize for Skull and then I knock out a 3-prizer. But I'm going Charm DNC here. I CC the Fez, and now I'm going down to 2. Funny enough. So as long as next turn I find Candy Guardy, I think I actually win the game. As long as you don't win this turn, and you have to go like Candy Dusknoir, knock out my active, or Candy something on the bench, boss up
Which
my
like
Fez and win.
I don't know if that's super crazy, right? Because I get to start the turn with 4 cards in hand plus the Kangaskhan. But I mean, you played your outs, right? So yeah, I get to draw a card here, and as long as I find Skull plus a switching card, like the game is over. And I only need to draw one of those cards off of 6 cards, because I get to draw 3 off Iona, 1 per turn, and then 2 off Kangaskhan. So I think I'm using a Ball Search card here. I'm just going to fail it, because I probably don't have anything in my deck that's worth thinning out. Draw 2, I draw Nest Ball plus something, and I think I probably just grab whatever the last piece is. Maybe I whiffed it, actually, because I'm not grabbing anything immediately.
That's why we played our outs. I think it's like the prize trade was still there in theory. If I got double Ralts out, I think I actually win this, depending on the situation, because DNC's at an effective 350. And
Yeah, it's a big girl.
Yeah, you would still kill it if you had a Dusknoir active plus knockout with a Lopunny.
Yeah, I like the Iono here just to kind of
damning power too, got it.
Yeah, keep you from getting the Rare Candy Guardy with a big hand. And even if I smack in a Diancie here, right, you don't have a Dark Monkey Dory, so like I'm not going to get knocked out here with the Lopunny. So I think it's kind of fine for me to just kind of attack into the Diancie, and I'm gonna Stretcher here, just kind of deciding what to get. I get Fez. I'm like, well, if I just high roll it, I just win. But because I'm fidgeting with my cards, I probably don't end up getting it. And then, yeah, I just have Boss's Order to or what is that?
Was it Prime?
Oh, it's Counter Catcher.
Counter Catcher, yeah.
Yeah, so I get the Counter Catcher there to knock out Ralts. And this maybe kind of sews it up for me, because I know you can't attack with Gardevoir this turn. I go to 2 prizes. There's no way for you to take a prize card to put yourself down to 1 so that you can prevent my Duskull use. So there's no fear on my turn that I'm going to be getting knocked out by something. And it looks like my hand's like Ultra Ball, Turo, plus something else. I think I see a purple card, so it's a Clops. So I think I got the Clops off the prize.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up. I was like thinking in my deck, like, what's the coping mechanism that'll help me through this? But there was like literally nothing. And then game 3, I start Frillish going second, which is pretty powerful. Pretty powerful.
I think I started the recording like halfway into Mo's turn, because I think my camera died in the middle of game 3, turn 1. Which, I mean, whatever happens. But yeah, I get this good setup, right? I get Fan Rotom, Double Skull, Latias, Baneri, plus the Kangaskhan. Unfortunately, because I know Mo led the Frillish, I'm not going to bench the Pidgey, because it just means I'm never getting Pidgeot in play, and because I'm playing the 50 HP Pidgey, it's just food for Monkey Dory plus the Oceanic Gloom. It's just perfect damage. And let's see, I think Mo ends up getting Rare Candy Guardy off of this Iono, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, it kind of prevents me from going super, super nuts, but I do get to start my turn with a pretty big hand. Yeah, I get jamming there. And here I'm just kind of looking for either a Fan Rotom attack into Frillish, or I'm looking for like a Lopunny attack into Frillish, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, because I can't play items, I'm not allowed to use this Ultra Ball that's in my hand. And I think I'm just going to end up settling for smacking Fan Rotom for 70. My hand's pretty dead. I have double Iono, but I was considering not playing this Iono. But because my hand was filled with so many items, I just played it. It's giving Mo a +1, but I guess the plus would end up working out for me because he had Candy Guardian hand. And yeah, unfortunately, this turn is going to be still pretty good for Mo. Unfortunate for me, I guess, right? But yeah, he gets the item lock again, probably at the end of this turn. There's no reason to break the item lock at this point in the game. And then the Dark on the Monkey is going to put Fan Rotom to 50 damage, which is pretty bad for me because it's going to mean that this Fan Rotom is a free prize later in the game.
But I don't know if I have a follow-up supporter, to be honest. It might be like Turo.
Oh, yeah, Lilia.
Oh no, I have Lilia. I'm the goat. So Lily for 8. I think because like this turn, I know how the game ends up by. It's a little. We put it like a week and a half ago, so I'm trying to see like what went wrong.
I mean, this is still a pretty solid turn. I think maybe there's an argument there because you drew that third Ralts just to just bench it. Well, let's see what I get here. I think ideally on my turn, if I can get like a combination of like Clops to knock out this Frillish, you probably promote Monkey Dory, and then I go like Lopunny Jet, knock out Monkey, leave you with the 2 Ralts. Like that's a pretty good turn for me as well.
No,
if I can get
Ralts up all day.
yeah, keep that Monkey down.
Dude, yeah. Monkey Dark is so broken in this matchup because at the end of the day, you still cannot rare candy it this turn. You have to have Clops. So like, yeah, you find Clops to get that, then what are the odds you're getting another Duskull down? And even if you bench another Duskull, if I get Candy Guardy Dark Monkey, then I can just knock out Duskull.
And I get the Lily here too, which is really crazy, right? This deck draws so many cards because I'm able to draw 8 cards off Lily, and then if I retreat Fan Rotom into the Kangaskhan, I can draw 2 more cards. And this turn, what I needed was Lopunny plus Jet Energy, which would have been pretty good here. Because I whiffed the Jet Energy, I'm just going to save this Skull. Unfortunately, it leaves my Duskull on the bench here, susceptible to getting Monkey Dory pinged. But I think on this turn, Mo whiffs the Rare Candy Gardevoir, which is solid for me. Let's see. So you're going to move the 2 to kill Fan Rotom. Oh, no, that's not this turn. That's not this turn. Let's see. You have Evo TM, some Dark Energies. I think you have an Artisan in hand. See, this Artisan comes down. I imagine this just grabs another Monkey. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You have Arven Iono, Evo TM. I think for me, looking at this hand, depending if how many Evo TM or Kirlias I prize, I think I'm going for like bench Kirlia Evo TM. I think this plays a little bit greedy, just because I think if you go like Kirlia, Ralts, it's like almost impossible for me to kill all 3 of them. So I think maybe this turn I would have played a little bit differently, just because I know that like, okay, on my opponent's turn, right, they whiff Jet Energy, right? So they're going to have to draw Jet Energy raw or use a supporter for it, which means like if they're using Cypher, then they're not like using Boss's Order on one of my Kirlias. So on that turn, I have to find like nor Rare Candy nor Energy Gust, which is like 5 or 6 cards. So going for the item lock here, I think is like also fine. But if you like low roll, no evolutions, it's kind of rough.
Yeah, I should have written down my prizes too. It might have been a prize 1 Kirlia game. I know later in the game I ended up getting like double Kirlia in play, so I might have prized 1 for that reason that I thought that, or like that I played to this route. It also might have been like I'm putting you to a lower hand. I'm putting myself to 6, and then I'm gonna go +1 once I take a knockout on this Fan Rotom. So like the odds of you having the Fez as well is like pretty low. You're still going to like. You're going to 5 cards, plus you're going to have the draw for turn at 6, Kangaskhan is 8. So it's not like I'm limiting you to like, a 2-card hand.
I'm still keeping a pretty big hand.
You and item lock.
I think item lock here is fine. I think also the other play, it keeps a Dark Energy on a Monkey Dory, right? Because you can just go attach Dark to Monkey, exactly. Evo TM, and then get double Kirlia Ralts down, which is still a scary board for me to deal with, right? Because let's say on this turn, even if I kill like double... Like I kill Kirlia Ralts, right? You still have 1 more Kirlia in play to potentially evolve into Gardevoir, and then...
And double Dark.
Yeah, and double monkey double dark, so I can't bench any more Dust Skulls. So it pretty much makes it so that your Gardevoir is unkillable, and I have to like beat you the honest way of like taking prizes. But I do rip the Jet Energy there off of the Kangaskhan, which is pretty good. And it doesn't look like I have an out to Dusknoir yet, but I think worst case scenario, I can just kind of Jet Energy my Lopunny to the active, take a knockout on this Frillish. But because you did get rid of the Dark on the Monkey, I can even use Artisan to potentially get another Duskull down. I can also potentially... This would have been an okay turn, I think, to get a Pidgey down if I had a Pidgey in my deck, but I don't... I think I... Do I bench Pidgey this turn? I think benching Pidgey here is, like, fine. Okay, I actually do end up going for the Pidgey. I forgot if it was this game or the last game that I got it up, but yeah, benching Pidgey here is fine too, because I know I'm knocking out the Frillish here. Then I can potentially get Pidgeot up. If I get Pidgeot up, my chances of winning the game go up significantly. And it looks like Mo's hand is a little bit dead here. Off of that Iono, he's got a Super Rod, Energize, he's got a Monkey Dory. But let's see. I think, yeah, because the hand is so clogged, you're kind of forced to just go for an Energize line. Because benching the Mew here feels like really bad. Does third Ralts come down here?
I can't Artisan for DNC.
Yeah,
I think I Artisan for third Ralts and Nest Ball for DNC.
Yeah, I like this play.
I don't even think I grabbed DNC. We were
I don't think you have an out to
time at this point.
Yeah, I think benching DNC here is a misplay. Yeah, we see a Psychic Energy to one monkey and a Dark Energy to that monkey. I think this play is like fine. I think looking at your hand, there wasn't really like much else to go off of. But this is like the make or break turn for me. I kind of have to...
You have to seal the deal.
Yeah, I have to like I have to take 2 prizes this turn for sure, because then Mo will go to 4. So like on this turn, my play is either to kill all 3 Ralts or kill both monkeys with Dark. I think both are probably fine. Obviously, killing all 3 Raltses puts me in a position where Mo has to take another turn to set up and then use like Mind Bend, which is fake against my deck because I play a billion switching cards. And then yeah, I get Ultra Ball there, Rare Candy for the Pidgeot, and then I have to put together a pretty lengthy play here to be able to take, you know, multi-prize knockouts. And I don't know, I think I play this turn a little bit slow. I definitely could have played it a bit faster, but that's just kind of Pokemon. I'm just kind of piecing it together in my head, like, okay, if I get this, then I have game.
Well, I think turn 0 is called, that's why. Turn 0 and we were doing a gentleman's agreement. Yeah,
because at this point, I think I was like 301 and I think you were 3-1.
I was 202, you were 3 you were 3-1. But how it played out, it was like a challenge style. It was best of 3 challenge style. But Michael Davidson was 5-0. We knew he would probably go 5-0 into that matchup, so like we were playing for second place. And like so he was getting, we already knew he was getting first, so we were like,
yeah, because Michael had beaten me earlier. He was my loss. And then who did you end up tying to?
I tied to Absol Box round 1, Jeremy Allen, and then I also tied, which like I was gonna probably win game 3, and then I forgot who else I tied. I tied Gage because we were starting game 3 with like a minute left.
Yeah, it's like there's no way to decide that, especially if both players got set up. And I'm gonna use the Dusknoir here. I'm gonna pop 1 Ralts, take a prize card, and I get Stretcher off the prize card, which is pretty huge. I was saving that Cypher Maniac in my hand to combo with the Kangaskhan to be able to hit, because I needed 4 cards, I believe, here, and I had 2 guaranteed with the Cypher Maniac's code breaking, so I thought, okay, I can lead the turn off by using Pidgeot to take a prize, and if I do hit one of those pieces I need, I have like pretty much guaranteed game. So I can go for Cypher here. I think I go for Prime Catcher plus Rare Candy, and then yeah, I can go Stretcher for Nor, and then Prime Catcher 1 Ralt, and then blow up the other Ralts, and then on my next turn, I just need to take 1 prize card, and most else take 3 with no Gardevoirs in play. So it's like basically impossible for him to do so.
And this is turn 1.
Yeah, this is also turn 1. So I mean, like, I guess Mo could have. We had a gentleman's. Obviously, we're not going to scum each other at like a tournament. We're friends, but yeah, just take the knockout here, and then it's pretty much like guaranteed that like Mo wouldn't be able to win on the next turn, but I would be able to win on the next turn because he can't put anything into the active that's like thick enough to live a hit. Actually, I lied because I didn't have another stretcher for a Dust Skull, so I guess if Mo were to be able to get like Diancie into play, he could have.
Yeah, I could have gone like get Diancie promote, because now I have like an 8-card hand, which is so silly. I could have gone Super Rod. I don't think I played Super Rod, so I could have gone Super Rod back in the Gardevoir line, promote Diancie, TM Evolution, evolve up to my
Oh.
Curlias, and then you can't take care of it.
I actually lied.
And
I had a Duskull in hand. I could have actually just benched the Duskull, but I knew like there was another turn. If there was another turn, I like optimally probably would have benched the Duskull. But yeah, like there's nothing Mo can do to like trap me here. And then yeah, I just have Switch plus Latios to be able to KO anything. And then yeah, Pidgeot. It probably I have Boss's Order in hand actually. Yeah, your hand is Counter Catcher, Mew, Ultra Ball, Rod, Secret Box, Charm, Stretcher, Guardy.
Yeah, so okay, the next turn I could go like get ready for the Diancie. Probably I think I could also get Fez. I'm trying to think. I have 2 bench. I could go like 1 Curlia because you win the game anyways. 1 Curlia, Fez, Diancie, and then I can try to Iono you plus Evo. And then if I'm able to do that, then I think I have to put you on like a check of having an out to Gust, but you have Pidgeot in play. Like it's really unlikely, but you need like Gust switch. So if you have, I'm trying to think, like the way you would do that is like retreat to Kangaskhan, draw 2, and then search out Jet Energy if you find Boss, or search out Boss if you find Jet Energy, like whatever it is. So the odds are still pretty high for you, but like I have to play to my outs. Or just if you bench the Duskull that past turn and we're still playing out with more time, then you just have to find like one of the pieces for Candy Dusknoir and then knocking out my board and taking the last prize. So it's really unlikely that I'll win in that situation. But you know, like if there was more time, I would play to my outs. I think
yeah, especially because you do have the Secret Box like in your hand now. You can go like Secret Box, Iono, and then like you never know. Like you can go like Secret Box for because you have Rod in hand. You can go like Rod back, double Ralts, and then Artisan for 1.
Because I lose the game if you kill it.
Yeah, I guess right. But
and it allows me to like bench Fez, or bench Mewtwo, because off of I would draw 3 off of the Iono, so I'd probably just bench Fez, and capitalize on it for that 1 turn, because like I have to win the next turn, and then the next turn I can go CC King, knock it out for 3.
Yeah, because of that King having that 20 damage on it, you can move 60 and then do 240 with the actually double monkey Giants is just enough.
Double monkey Giants kills it anyways.
Yeah.
It's more so in the Absol matchup if they buff it.
Yeah, that's true, because then it goes to like 330 and then like even bigger with Charm. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. We maybe should have just seen how the game would have gone, but I think
I think it's
funny. Like it would have been nice for testing, nice for the video, but ultimately, like I should have scooped game 2 faster, especially when I priced double Guardy. It's like I was kind of coping, and it's like the skill I'm trying to work on. You know,
I don't know if you think of it in the moment of like Ultra Balling for Diancie, attaching Charm and like shoving into the active. Maybe you do, in the, like with more time, right?
Well, it'd be Evo. It'd be Evo on it. Because if I Evo it, you still can't knock it out unless you Dusknoir it. You'd have
if I Dusknoir, I just Dusknoir anything on your board.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So like I would have to Evo it to get a Curly in play. I think like hindsight's 2020, like I should have scooped game 2 faster. It's a skill I need to work on, and it's like one of the things that is kind of rough for not playing as much anymore.
Yeah, Guardy is like one of those decks, like no matter how much you play it, like you feel like you could have just played better. It's just like one of those decks where there's so many micro decisions with the deck. Like as someone that's been playing Guardy forever as well, like I played Guardy to like a bunch of majors, and the deck's hard, man. Like I generally like the harder decks of the formats, and yeah, that deck is tough.
Yeah, it's so rewarding to play, but it's also just like you misplay so much with it. But it's rewarding. It's super fun. I really enjoy it. Again, like it was a nice matchup to see. And there's a couple things I could have done differently. The Evo turn, mid game 3, instead of doing the Frillish, losing a Dark, and then that sacrificed me also attaching another Dark in play. So I had 2 monkeys in play, no Darks, and I attacked into your Rotom for 20 to knock it out and item lock you. But like getting double Curlia would have been pretty good. Depending on my prizes, I kind of forgot because it was like, again, it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think they were pretty good games overall. Thankfully, like, it wasn't a blowout on either side. I think game one, I was probably the worst I drew out of the 3 games. I think I probably could have played like the mid game a little bit better to leave me less susceptible to like counter catcher. Maybe I could have just like, chipped something down, but I don't know. The problem with chipping cards against Guardy is that they always have multiple Monkey Dories in play. So it's like you chip them, but you're really just chipping yourself. So it's weird to like play into those lines, especially because like Monkey Dories can always come down, and Gardevoir decks have been playing, you know, energy switch here and there, so you never know when someone includes it into their deck. So I don't know.
Monkey
Gardevoir
Dory
is
is
just
like mirror
weird.
force for Magic Cylinders, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right back at you.
a Yu-Gi-Oh card, yeah.
But yeah, thanks for Mo for hopping on the channel to do this little commentary. I'll definitely try to have more notable people on to kind of give their thoughts on their games if we play each other at locals. Mo, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PTCGMo.
And I'll throw it right there up on the screen for you
Maybe
to
find me in a
follow him.
regional, like, find me playing Mexico. I'll play Merida, so find me playing there. Hopefully I do. I'm trying to cash out, so we'll see what happens.
And I'll probably try to throw his Twitter at the beginning, so if I forget to throw it down here at the end, it'll definitely be at the beginning, so go shoot him a follow. He's one of Chicagoland's Unk Pokemon players now, along with me. Yeah, appreciate you watching, and go win a League Cup this weekend or something, right?
See you.
Peace.